right, welcome back to Ready Bet Action. We are here for week 4 of college football. Excited to dive in. Been an interesting betting season in college football so far. We have an exciting week ahead. Before I do that, don't forget that we are now partnering with RotoViz, which is a great site for all of your fantasy football needs and more. We use their tools for also things like player props. So go check that out if you're seeing us in other channels. If you're on RotoViz, go check us out on YouTube. And on Instagram, that's where we do most of our stuff. Before we do, let's call it out. What are we most excited for this week, fellas? Stefan, what's your favorite game you're gonna watch this week?
Ooh, I think Illinois, Indiana is one of those that really intrigues me. We talked about this in the Big Ten preview. This kind of feels like an elimination game, unless one of these teams is really, really bad or really, really good and whatever gets the opposite result. I think the winner of this game has a chance to make the playoff. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's going to be fun, interesting storylines, excited for it. But I'm excited for a lot this week. And I think this is low key, maybe even not low key, but this is an exciting week.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I think Illinois, we're going to talk about it. Well, we won't dive into it yet. The Indiana-Illinois game. That's going to be a fun one to talk about. I'm actually excited for the Michigan-Nebraska game. I don't think that Michigan is on the same level of Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon this season. But as a program, Nebraska has not really ever been competitive against those teams. So, I don't have this in the win total for Nebraska when we took their over. So I'll be betting on Michigan. However, if Nebraska is going to beat one of those 4 teams, this is the year to do it with a freshman quarterback at home in Lincoln. So, and you have your quarterback, you have Raiola, you have your guy. No excuses. Now's the time to compete with one of these teams. So I'm excited to watch that game.
Yeah, I'm obviously excited for the Utah-Texas Tech game. Big noon kickoff. I'll be there way too early tailgating, and it's going to be a lovely time. But personal interest aside, I'm really excited in my whole SEC fandom over here for the Florida game, Florida-Miami. After DJ Lagway, I mean, they dropped
not the SEC game I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, I got you. Lagway, man, throwing 5 picks last week. I'm just curious. I mean, doing that after losing to South Florida, you expected a bounce back game. I'm really curious what he does this week. I think it's going to be a close one. I don't know if it's going to be because of him or not. So I'm curious to see how he play if he has 3 dud weeks in a row.
I thought you were going to say Auburn, Oklahoma, which to me is like the Jackson Arnold revenge game.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I felt like that one was a little too expected, so I went another route.
I've got to play on that one, so we don't have to talk about it now. You guys can tell me why I'm wrong later.
Well, Stefan and I are going to the Colorado-Wyoming game, which we don't have a play on today, but I'm going to be honest. I think with the types of games that are happening, we might go sit at a bar, that pizza place, the bar right next to Folsom, and just hang out there until game time so we can watch as much of this football as we can before we go to the stadium. I think that's going to be the plan. So excited about that. Let's dive right in. We each have 4 or 5 picks. So we have a lot of picks to go through. In college football, we just pick games, no player props, because not all states can bet player props. If you hear something you like, though, and you live in a state you can, then maybe go check those out as well. Mike, why don't you kick us off with your first pick?
I'm going to start with a little parlay. Looking at the TCU SMU game and the rivalry in-state game, they're going to take TCU team total over 30.5 points with Kansas playing against West Virginia. Kansas first quarter money line. You can get that at plus 100. In-state rivalry, TCU and Kansas. TCU has just looked really freaking good. We all saw what they did against North Carolina. Obviously, North Carolina didn't look great in general, but TCU was just clicking all across the board, especially offensively. This game last year, a game total was over 100 points. It was 66-42, and I fully expect something kind of similar. TCU so far averaging 542 yards of offense with 48 points per game, while SMU is giving up 465 yards a game and allowing 39 points a game. I don't see a world in which TCU does not score at least 30 points. Kansas, that leg of the parlay, they come out strong every game. They've scored 14 points in the first quarter twice and 21 last week against Mizzou. West Virginia, to this point, has only scored 7 first quarter points in total. So Really like how these two match up together, especially at plus 100.
Yeah, I think we hit no, we're talking Missouri over in a different one. But man, this Kansas team, man, is just in general, I think going to play really well against West Virginia. I have a bet for Kansas. I didn't make it a show pick, but I actually have a ticket for Kansas to cover the spread. I think it's a big letdown game for West Virginia after beating Pitt. Like that West Virginia team's not that good. I think Kansas at home is probably going to roll them. That's my thoughts on it. All right, I'm going to dive in. Man, I think I made an Army pick with Kansas State that really blew up in my face a couple years ago. I really underestimated how bad Kansas State is this year. Like, I don't think they're just like, oh, they've had some off weeks. Like, I think Kansas State's a bad football team, and Army took advantage. I still don't think Army is that good. And North Texas just absolutely destroyed Washington State last week. They put up like almost 50 points on them. So give me North Texas, the Mean Green, minus 2.5 at Army this week. It is an American Conference game, and North Texas is looking to be in that championship picture. So they gotta come in winning a conference game. I think they take care of business pretty handily against Army. They're familiar. Like when these service academies, like they can surprise a Kansas State because they don't play them all the time, and you have to play like service academy football, and it's hard. When you're in the division of a service academy, like you know how to play their weird offense. Like you play them every year, you know what you're doing. The Mean Green look awesome this year. So give me UNT minus 2.5 at Army. Stefan, why don't you hit us? I'm trying to save the bigger games for last, and we're gonna do a little dancing around. So why don't you hit us with a smaller one too?
Hey, I've got a group of 5 play. You're not the only one. You're not the only one who loves the group of
who watches these
group
games.
of 6. Excuse me. Let's take a Mountain West team here on the road, going to the great state of Ohio, Miami of Ohio, just to confuse you a little bit, combining 2 states that drive me crazy every 4 years. Miami's not a state. I realize that. It is in Florida, which is a state that drives. Anyway, UNLV minus 2.5. Let's go. I love it at minus 108. UNLV is playing great under Mullen. I love what they can do offensively. Miami of Ohio returned 0 starters on offense this year, and it has really shown. Yes, they've played 2 Big Ten teams, but it's been like bottom of the half Big Ten teams, like they haven't been juggernauts, and they just got beat like 45-17 by Rutgers. Come on. I like UNLV in this spot. Minus 2.5 is not enough. So that's going to be my first little play here in the Mountain West.
I like that. Miami of Ohio is not a good team. I totally agree. All right, Mike, hit us with pick number 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the USC Michigan game. I'm going to take USC to cover 17.5.
Just
Michigan State. Thank you.
There's a big difference in opponent. So just to be clear.
Yeah, give me USC to beat Michigan by 17.5. It's going to be great. Michigan State to USC to cover 17.5 against Michigan State minus 110. Michigan State, Eastern time zone. They're traveling to the West Coast, 3-hour difference, kicking off at 11 p.m. home time. We've seen this happen over and over again. Teams struggle when they have to travel that far. Logistically, it can be a nightmare from a team perspective. Getting your team ready to go at 11 p.m. kickoff time, your home time. So I just expect USC to come out crazy strong. I mean, Stave talked about them. He was all over them last week. They're 55 points per game, 604 offense per game, number 1 in the nation in both so far. I just think the logistics of traveling and having a kickoff that late is really going to hurt Michigan State here. So give me minus 17.5.
I think USC, man, people are talking like this is a surprise. This is a surprise team that's going to be more competitive than expected, and they're going to be sneaky about it because they play these late games. Like no one's going to watch this game. No one's going to watch this game, and USC might just like roll another Big Ten team.
Stop it. We'll be watching this game. I like them in the first half. I love this play, Mikey. Like you said, I was on them last week. Love them again this week. I didn't like the number at minus 10.5, but I only looked at one spot because today's insane. So if you can find me a minus 10, I want that. I want that -10 first half because of all the things you just said. But I like your play too because as my dogs go crazy, USC has been a second half team as well. I'm going to shut up.
The dogs are going wild. That is hilarious. Anyways, we're very pro USC. We're at least pro University of Southern California, I should say. I don't think we're as pro on South Carolina these days. All right, I will move us on. Give me another money line parlay from me this week. I have two this week. Let's start with the first one. Arkansas State money line. Arkansas State is playing Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State was the worst team in the country last year. Arkansas State just took Iowa State to the brink last week. So give me Arkansas State to win that game. I think they're like a touchdown favorite or so. We're going to combine that with BYU to win. They're going all the way to East Carolina. That is a tough place to get to. I had family that lived out there. It's not like a short travel day. So it worries me a little bit, the 2 time zone thing. East Carolina is not an easy place for teams to travel to from Utah. However, BYU is coming off the bye, and they're just a more talented and better team that's going to be competitive in the Big 12. So I just think that it's too much for ECU. Don't be surprised, though, to see BYU get off to a slow start because that is a weird travel spot. But I think coming off the bye kind of neutralizes that. So Arkansas State, BYU money line. What other shows are going to give you that combination of a parlay? I ask you. None, right? So, all right.
Not wrong.
Stephon, you want to go or you still got the dogs? The dogs still all in the house. All right. Hit us with your next one.
The dogs went outside and the neighbor's dog was all mad because she's a blind chihuahua. So, I mean, I'd be mad too, right? Like, what are we doing here? I'm going to give you another 10 a.m. Mountain time kickoff here because I like starting the day off with some wins. We're going to take Syracuse Clemson. Let me see what number I got here. Under 55.5 for the full game. And Clemson offense is not very good. And I think Syracuse offensively struggles as well. I've not been a huge fan of theirs. We've kind of been fading Syracuse a time or two. I just think both offenses really struggle. I think Dabo really just needs a good, solid, like 31-10 win, get in, get out. Syracuse, I don't love, so that's why I'm not touching the spread on this. I could see Clemson shutting them out, winning 35-0 or something crazy. I just don't think both teams get up and score enough in this for the over to be in question here. So we're going to go under 55.5, Syracuse Clemson.
I like that. Klubnik has been disappointing.
Yeah,
Klubnik
super.
Has not been great.
Deer in headlights, man.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy, too, because last year in the video game, he won a Heisman 3 years in a row. It was so frustrating. I was like, this is stupid. Anyway.
It's weird how that's not always accurate. That is hilarious. All right, Mike, why don't you hit us with your SEC matchup, and then we'll jump into some of the juicier games of the week we've talked about.
Yeah, man. 3rd week in a row, I'm riding the Mizzou team total over 30.5 points at -125. If they're at home, I'm taking this until it misses. Roll the tape from 2 weeks ago. They're just really good offensively right now, averaging 38.5 points per game at home. If you date back to last year, this year, they've yet to score fewer than 40 points. They haven't traveled yet this year. They're at home again. It's way easier to stay in your rhythm if you're not traveling. South Carolina just gave up 30 to Vandy. Back to last year, South Carolina gave up 28.8 points per game on the road, and they've given up more than 30 points per game in the SEC 6 times last year. So I don't know, man. I just think there's offensively at home, there's a lot of really good things happening in Missouri right now, and I'm going to ride with it until it misses at this point.
Did Shane Beamer get fired yet? Or not yet?
No, he's not. I don't think he's going to get fired for a while.
No.
All right. Oh no, Virginia Tech.
You're just thinking, the Beamer.
Virginia
the Beamer
Tech
connection.
fired their coach, and I was tying it to Beamer. And
there it is.
Yeah, Virginia Tech fired their coach. All right, ignore me. Go ahead, Stephon.
I'll just say I have a play on Missouri as well. I'm going to take them on the money line as part of a parlay. Mea culpa. Like, I was wrong on Missouri. I was fading them to start the year. I thought Bo Pribula was nothing more than a running quarterback. I didn't think he'd be able to get the passing game going. You lose a guy like Luther Burden, who, yes, wasn't maybe the stud wide receiver I expected him to be out of high school, but he still was very good. But you lose all this, you're still performing at a high level. Missouri, to me at home against the South Carolina team that is reeling just a little bit. I'm going to take them on a money line. I'm going to parlay that with one of the big games, Eric. Can I go now, or do you want to wait?
Let's do it because I got one too.
We'll talk about it. I'm going to parlay Missouri. This is my M&M. This is my M&M parlay of the week, baby. Missouri and Miami on the money line. Say that 3 times fast. I like Miami to beat Florida. Florida is in a world of trouble. Hey, mea culpa again. Remember when you guys in our SEC preview, I was like, I kind of like Napier. I think he just got out of bad state. And Mike was like, I was about to agree with you because I thought you were going to say he sucks. And then you didn't. So I could not. So y'all were right. I was wrong. No problem admitting that. Napier will not last the season. I think Miami puts it on him pretty heavily. But the line has already moved even further up.
That's wild.
So I didn't really want to play that way. So doing a parlay, Missouri, Miami, let's go.
I'll keep rolling with that. So I got Miami in a money line parlay, and I have an M&M parlay.
Yes,
we have multiple. We're all about the M&Ms today. Miami money line, all the same reasons you just said. I'm not going to dive into that more. I'm going to pair it with Michigan on the money line against Nebraska though, because it gets me to plus 131. So give me a Michigan and Miami. Look. We're talking before the show. If Nebraska is going to knock off one of the kind of the big 4 in the Big Ten, this is the year to knock off Michigan. I just haven't seen it from Raiola, and I'm a Nebraska hater, so maybe take it with a grain of salt. I think they should have lost to Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati threw up just an absolute gimme of a game, like a game winner to like of an interception, and since he should have won that game. And Raiola didn't look good. He's only won games, Power 5 games against Colorado, who, as a Colorado fan, like last year, they looked horrible. And then like Purdue, Wisconsin, like really low, and Cincinnati, like not great teams. So prove it until Dylan Raiola actually beats these teams. Like I'm not going to buy into his like legacy as this great quarterback who can do so. So that's my trash talk to Nebraska fans this week. Mike, you have a pick for Michigan too.
Yeah, I just got Michigan on the money line at minus 135. Yes, everything you guys have already said. We're still early in the season, so I'm still referencing what happened last year a couple of times here. Last season, Nebraska gave up over 130 rushing yards 4 times, and I lost 3 of them. This season, Cincy rushed for 200 yards, and I agree with you, Rick.
Cincy had like their quarterback had like 96 or something. If Bryce Underwood gets going.
Exactly. Bryce Underwood gets going. I mean, this Michigan team, I think, is just going to run the ball down their throat. And I don't think Raiola is even remotely ready for a defense as good as Michigan is. So I don't know. I'm surprised we can get this at minus 135. The fact that we are getting it at minus 135 on the money line scares me a little bit.
Yeah, let's say what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. But I just can't find a world in which Raiola is able to pull this one off. So I'm just going to go ahead and ride with it.
And like to y'all's point, Underwood already had that big road test, and he didn't have a great game, but they also didn't ask him to. I think they asked him to do a little bit more, and they can do it. I have like some of the people I listen to love Nebraska in this spot, so that's the only reason I'm a little bit hesitant, because I like trust them and like their perspective on a lot of things. I'm like, what are they seeing that I'm not? I mean, Lincoln can get rowdy, but
I think the traveling freshman quarterback is whatever. That's the main points I've heard, and I get it.
Yeah,
but I'm more with Mike on the like. It's less to me about that than it is about Raiola actually beating a top tier Big Ten defense.
How close is Nebraska to Oklahoma level? I mean, that's the question, right? Because Michigan showed us they couldn't hang with Oklahoma, but I don't think Nebraska would hang with Oklahoma.
I think Oklahoma rates Nebraska. Yeah.
I think Oklahoma's favored by 13.5 against Nebraska.
Now I want to see what the number would be. I wish there was like a.
I know. I wish we could. I wish we could do a hypothetical. I wish we could plug that in somewhere. All right, Stefan, you have 2 more picks. I have 1 more. Stefan, why don't you talk? Speaking of Oklahoma, let's go there.
Yeah. So we like Oklahoma. Oklahoma hosts Auburn in the Arnold Bowl. I like Oklahoma minus 6.5 here an awful lot. Auburn is a team that I was high on coming into this season, and I've honestly been a little bit disappointed. Jackson Arnold has been getting dubs, and he's been doing it with his legs, which is great. But when you can't utilize those receivers, I'm wondering why. Like, why is Cam Coleman not exploding? Why is Eric Singleton not showing up on all these highlight reels? It's because Jackson Arnold's not throwing them the ball. And I think if you're one-dimensional against Oklahoma, Brent Venables is going to take that away from you. So if Jackson Arnold is forced to pass, is he going to be able to, not having been asked to before? I like Oklahoma at home. We just talked about how dominant they were against Michigan. I think it's kind of a similar game here. Oklahoma with the new quarterback, Moneyline Mateer. I mean, come on now.
Mateer.
I stole that from the Cover 3 podcast, but it's just the best. He's a baller, man, and I think they can.
He is.
I think they can get it done here at home.
Yeah, I wish I would have clipped. I wish I would have clipped it for us. Someone did they did like essentially like these quarterbacks that we all thought were going to be great coming into the season that have looked really bad, like
Arch Manning,
Arch Manning, Klubnik, these guys. And then they're like, now there's the quarterbacks. So you're like, wait a second, and Mateer was one of those guys. That's like this guy balls, dude. Anyways, Mike.
No, I agree. I had Oklahoma put together with a frat boy parlay to start the week and eventually removed it. Just seen too much crazy shit happen in these SEC games, man. That's why I'm not betting, anything other than team total overs in the SEC this year. So that's the only reason why I'm not playing. But logistically speaking, It's like everything is in favor of Oklahoma in this game.
Absolutely. All right, Stefan, hit us with your Midwestern Indiana Illinois play, and only because I'm saving I always gotta save the Maverick MacGyver pick for last, so we're saving it, so go for it.
Absolutely. So I think, like we said off the top, I think this is like low-key huge. Illinois on the road to Indiana. We talked about this game when we did the Big Ten preview. This is huge for both of these programs. I think it sets the trajectory for the rest of the season going into the playoff. Like, you win this, you actually have a shot. This line opened at, I think, 3.5 in favor of Indiana. It's now gone to 6.5. Give me Illinois in the points. I think the wrong team is favored in this matchup. We saw what Illinois was able to do against what I know Duke just had a letdown game against Tulane as well, but I think they're pretty good, more than anything Indiana's had to face. I know Indiana just put 70 on the board last week against Indiana State while shutting them out, like insane. I get it. Both of these teams were very good last year. Illinois brings a lot back. Indiana still has Curt Cignetti, but the rest is very different. I think I want to rely on the experience. Like Luke Altmaier, I don't think is going to make a bunch of mistakes. We saw what Illinois can do. They can really confuse opposing teams. That's why Duke had so many turnovers. Give me Illinois plus 6.5. I thought about buying it up to 7, but what's the point when I think Illinois is going to win outright anyway? So
yeah, I almost want to double. So I did when I went to my local casino and sports book today. I actually just have an Illinois money line ticket. I didn't even bet this spread.
I'm a baby.
I just went for it, man. No, you were right on. Like, take the safer play. For sure.
You get do you remember what you got your number at?
Oh man, it's sitting around here somewhere.
I'll look it up.
Like I feel like it was like a
plus 180.
Yeah, plus 165, plus 175. I thought so.
Yeah.
I just like it, man. I agree. I think the wrong team's favored. Illinois is tough. That is a tough team, and I think they're going to prove that they belong in the top 10. A lot of people aren't not happy about their top 10 ranking. I think they want to try to prove that this week.
Yeah, and I mean, Luke Altmaier's looked really good this year. He's 71.8% completion, averaging 9.1 yards of completion, passer rating of 182. I was wrong about this dude coming into the season. I didn't think he was going to be able to pull it off this year, but he's improved everywhere, and he hasn't thrown an interception all year. I'm with you. I think their own team's favorite here, and I will personally be playing this as Illinois on the money line as well.
I remember I texted you earlier. You can get Illinois minus 2.5 if you want to do an alt line at plus 225. That's probably how I'll play it.
Well, all three of us are locked in on this pick.
Let's go.
Literally nothing can go wrong. So let's
Nebraska wins by 30 and Indiana wins by 40. Let's just
Missouri doesn't score a damn point.
All right. Well, as we all know, I lost my first week 0 play, a Western Kentucky play on our guy Maverick MacGyver. So I now have to make a pro Maverick MacGyver pick every single week for the whole season. Here's what it is. I hit last week. The over hit last week. There was a bye, but before that we hit it. So this is our second pro Maverick MacGyver play. Give me Western Kentucky at home -6.5 in the first half. The spread's a little too rich for my blood for the whole game. They got Nevada coming to town. Look, Nevada barely beat Sacramento State, who is atrocious. They lost to Middle Tennessee at home last week, and now they have to travel to
Penn
two
State,
time zones.
66-0, I think.
And the Penn State thing.
Yeah.
I kind of throw those out, but yeah, I know what you mean. And like now they got to travel 2 time zones into like just the absolute lion's den that is Maverick MacGyver's home. As we know. So I think Western Kentucky is able to pull ahead and maintain a lead early. So give me the first half spread -6.5.
I love that.
Yeah.
Here's a random question. Is Maverick MacGyver on this team next year?
Not if he keeps playing like this and he gets my backing the whole year, because he's doing it to spite me at this point. So he's going to be the starting quarterback at like Florida next year because I picked against him in week 0. You're welcome. You're welcome, MacGyver family, for future NFL money for this kid. It's all me. All right. Let's run it down. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to anywhere you get your podcasts. Check us out on RotoViz, YouTube, Instagram. Excited to be in all of those places. We'll be coming at you with some more NFL and soccer this week. Maybe soccer. We will see if it happens this week. We're gonna win to that one. We're definitely coming with to do with NFL plays this week. So go check those out. All right, let's go ahead and run it down. Mike, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, I'm going to start with a parlay of TCU team total over 30.5 and Kansas first quarter on the money line at +100. Michigan on the money line at Nebraska -135. Missouri team total over 30.5 points at home against South Carolina, and then finishing with USC at home -17.5 against Michigan State at -110.
All right, I'll take the North Texas Mean Green -2.5 at Army. Give me a money line parlay of Michigan and Miami to both win. I'll take another money line parlay of Arkansas State and BYU to both win. And then my Maverick MacGyver pick for Western Kentucky is give me Western Kentucky in the first half -6.5.
All right, I'm going to go with UNLV -2.5 on the road at Miami of Ohio at -108. We're going to go Syracuse at Clemson under 55.5 at -110. We're going to take Auburn, Oklahoma -6.5 at home -110. And then we're going to do a little Illinois +6.5 traveling to Indiana, and then a money line parlay to finish it off. We got the M&Ms. We got Missouri money line with Miami money line.
Love it. We will see y'all over on the NFL show.